welcome to another episode on Marvel Mad. I'm your host, doing the Captain Coffee as always, and again, I would like to welcome back a friend of the channel, Nate from THWIP Media. How you doing, my friend? Long time no see.
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm all good, my friend. Thank you very much. It's nice to have a episode again where I can talk to somebody. I've been talking to myself for good donkeys that last, so it's nice to have as we're going to call this episode, a meeting of minds. So it's nice to have a good fellow Marvel head and friend of the channel on again.
Yeah, what's happened since the last time I was on?
Just a bit, definitely.
Just a little bit, yeah.
As you said, we'll discuss about this, some of the things that's happened as with the episode goes along. So we'll start way back when that lot with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now, obviously, on the channel we've discussed about it, seen what we're good about it and everything. But what do you think of Guardians 3, my friend?
I thought it was really good. I saw it in the theater, not like opening weekend, but I did see it in the theater. It was very emotional. Like the whole row in front of me was like teenage girls. So anytime something happened with Rocket, it was just like complete sobbing sounds. But yeah, it made me tear up a few times. I'm sure you can point out the exact scenes where that happened. Just seeing the team come back together too was really cool. Like I love those characters, and with it being their final time all together, that really hit. And James Gunn just knocked another one out of the park. I think it's the best one of the trilogy. The High Evolutionary was a very good villain, even though he really makes you want to hate him, which is what a good villain does. But yeah, he was so good, and I can't wait to see where his career goes as an actor. And yeah, I like the setup with Rocket taking on this new group of Guardians. We have Adam Warlock joining them. I wasn't a huge fan of how they handled him. It seemed like he was...
Yeah, I was going to say that, because with me, I've always seen like Adam Warlock as this big, like, overarching, like, nemesis sort of big, well, not big bad, but it could do, obviously comes a good and eventually sort of thing. But I was expecting more, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, because, well, he's so essential to Thanos' story, and they completely missed out on that in the movies, so I guess they kind of had to adjust that, but it just seemed like they wrote him in the movie and then they forgot he existed, so then they had to like write him into all these scenes throughout, and it just seemed like he was placed randomly in the movie. He didn't really serve any real purpose.
Yeah,
other than at the start to put Rocket in that state.
Yeah,
that was really it.
It was sort of like a puppet sort of thing, weren't he? It wasn't really like all in sort of thing. I did agree. I definitely agree there. They could have done a lot more with Adam Warlock, bless him. I was waiting for more. But say in general, obviously we spoke about it on the channel already. But I absolutely adored it. Absolutely, I've seen it twice. Seen it with the main gang, and then I saw it with my little girl as well. And that lot. And with the main gang first, I couldn't get enough of the film. Like you said, best of the trilogy all day long. And when I seen it the second time, because the first time we seen it opening day, the cinema wasn't like packed, but still had quite a few people in that lot. But I seen it the second time on the weekend, the opening weekend of it, with my little girl, and she absolutely adored it, sort of thing. Every moment you was waiting just to see, oh, is he gonna die? Is he gonna die? Is that gonna die? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
because going into it. Go ahead. So going into it, I thought, like, you know, we talked about it last time I was on, like, Drax is gonna die, Rocket's gonna die, like, a lot of them are, and I think the way they did it actually worked. How, like, none of them actually die, but they all, like, their characters have evolved so much over the time they've been around that they figure out, maybe I should just go on my own journey. Now, we've been together for this long, I need to work on being myself now. So I think that worked really well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's say on the second time I seen him again, I was bawling. It just really got to me, not like just seeing it all again and just having all the emotions. Like Jesus, wept. I was just absolute floods of tears. And so obviously when we did the review as well, my little girl, she's just like, every time you go to the cinema, you're always crying on me. It's like, I can't help it. It just gets to me, sort of thing. But no, yeah, the arc of all of them, I definitely, like I say as well, definitely best of the trilogy, but the arc of all of them as well, and just seeing them all not like split off, but having their own different paths to go on and stuff like that sort of thing. it's really, really like sweet and really nice, to be honest.
Yeah, like when a movie can make you fall in love with a raccoon, then
Yeah.
that means something.
Like I said to the girls and that lot and the others, I wish they did. I'd love a plushie of like teeth or.
I'm so surprised they haven't done that yet.
This is what I mean. They're missing out on something like that because I would have snapped that up something rotten. Like what was it? You had teeth. You had
Or
that's it, and
Lila.
right, that's it. All of them, I'd have a plushie of all three of them because I absolutely adored them sort of thing. And then seeing them three just, that broke me heart. That really
scene
did.
was heavy. Yeah,
absolutely just like.
And even his scream, like as soon as Lila drops, then that scream did it for me. I was like, oh my god. And then, like just after that too, like even the music too in that moment, that really elevates it too.
I gotta admit, I think out of all the Marvel films and stuff like that, I do think the three Guardians films, best soundtrack hands down of any of the films all day long because they just know just every single time. It's just I've got them on my Spotify list. I just repeat them over and over because it's just so fantastic that lot. With just Guardians 2 on its own, then what would you rate it?
So the first time I saw it, I would say just because of like, the hype around it, I was saying maybe like a 9.5 out of 10. Since rewatching it, I'll give it maybe a 9 or an 8.5.
I literally took the words out of my mouth. I was, when we first seen it and everything, I was like between 8 and 9 all day long. It's definitely in my top 10 all day long with how just gripping and just so fantastic it was. But yeah, between 8 and 9 for me because I just can't get anywhere. We've actually, me and my dad, we've actually started to rewatch all the Guardians films again and everything like they've been in. So at the moment, we've just watched the Christmas special, and we're just about to watch the third one again. That last sort of thing. It just shows you a film like that gets you to go back and see their story progress. It's just so fantastic. It's just it bleeding lovely in that. It really was.
And we're really lucky that. Like, because going into like making Guardians of the Galaxy movies, they had no idea if it was going to be a hit or not, because no one knew who they were. We're really lucky that it connected with people and they were able to get this far with it.
Yeah, definitely. I do think as well. I think losing James Gunn to DC as well is a big blow. Really is that lot. I hope. Obviously, I know it's Marvel mad. I do appreciate DC in that lot, but I do hope he does well for DC in that lot because he is a damn good director, and the things he could do.
Yeah.
Could really work out well.
What he did with Rocket, he could probably do with I don't know if you know Crypto.
Yeah.
The super dog. Yeah. He could do something like that with Crypto.
Definitely all day long that lot, but. As we'll see what happens and everything. But yeah, after that, we obviously had Secret Invasion. Now, this for me is a tough one. I'll get your thoughts first. What do you think of Secret Invasion?
Okay. Honest thoughts, I did not like it at all.
Oh, really? Okay.
Nope. Did not like it.
Well, go on, explain why is it so...
First few episodes, I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Then it just it keeps getting dragged on, and then the runtime isn't consistent with the show. Like it's 50 minutes, 40 minutes, half an hour. Then it's like, what are we doing here? And I think a lot of that is just because obviously they weren't gonna fully adapt the comic. There's no way they could have, but at least they could have done something good with it. It was very slow. I didn't even find Nick Fury was even that. So I didn't think he was done very well.
Okay.
The whole Rhodey reveal, I didn't think that was very well done. I get what they were doing with it, but
I can definitely understand what you mean. Myself, I thought it was alright, but I definitely get what you mean about the consistency of the episodes. Because when I first thought 50 minutes, brilliant. Okay, they can build something up here and that lot, and they can try and really get into the meat of it. But then like 40, 30, slower. I'm like, come on, sort of thing. I didn't mind the reveal of Rhoda to a point. It does make me think now that how far do you go back? Because I've like seen bits where when he come out of the pod, he's in that hospital gown where I think the last time you seen him in a hospital gown sort of thing like that is after Civil War when he gets shot down by Vision. So does he know that Tony's dead, sort of thing? So it has made me think about that. But then the rest of it, I'm like, you could add some more super people in there or something like that, sort of thing.
You could have easily had heroes pop in there and maybe help out, even though it was a personal mission for Fury. Like, this is an event that should have been an Avengers movie.
Oh yeah, massively, all day long now. Like I said, obviously we did the comic corner of the Secret Invasion on the channel, and just reading that again, going back through it all, I loved that comic. Absolutely loved that series. And then you see what they missed out and what they could have done on the show. It's just like, oh, come on. You had all this time and effort to put into it, and they just... Like I said,
they could have easily waited to do this too until like the X-Men and Fantastic Four and all of them were introduced too.
Definitely.
Like 80% of the characters in the book aren't in the MCU yet.
No, exactly. Mr. Fantastic, Wolverine, you got bleeding... just
Spider-Woman, she's the most important one in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like Elektra as well in that lot.
Yeah.
You see the body of Elektra dead. It's just... They just could have done so much in that lot, sort of thing. And from where that goes on to now, where it's going to link up, I ain't got a bleeding clue, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like...
I've seen Captain America... Brave New World is going to tap into that because now the whole government paranoia that, Skrulls are invading and they don't know who's a Skrull now. I think that setup was okay. It's just everything that happened before it. I don't know if you caught my Gaia spiel when I cut out.
No, yeah, cut out of it now. What was you saying about Gaia?
No? Okay. The fact that you give her every single power that every single hero has in the MCU makes 0 sense, and it makes all the heroes useless now. Like, when Kang shows up, just send in her. You don't need anyone else. Just send in Gaia.
I was like, what's she going to do now? Is she going to stay with the British Secret Service or something? Or is she going to actually help the Avengers? Or is she going to go against them? Like, what's the point? It's just, you've got her now, that's it. It's just, you've shot yourself in the foot now, sort of thing. I liked how they made her, because I genuinely did think, fucking hell, they've just got everything to Nick Fury. Nick Fury's the bleeding super agent now, sort of thing. So I did like that transition where you saw it was actually her. That weren't too bad, even though the CGI was a bit ropey and all over the shot.
Oh yeah.
But I was just like, well, what do you do now then? Because I've got to admit as well, I was like one of them really detailed people trying to go through every single power that they put up on that screen. I thought that was quite interesting, seeing how they'd got every single one of them. That was quite okay.
It was the Drax arm when she had that took me out. I was like,
why?
I just saw that, right? I just saw her. Okay.
It's like there was no need for it there. There's literally no need for it in that lot. But myself rating this, it's nowhere near the top 3 series they've done. My top 3 series is WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They're my 3. I'll have them top 3 all day long. So it's nowhere near close to that sort of thing. Series-wise, I rate it maybe a 6 or a 7. It's not massive or anything like that sort of thing. Could have done a lot more. Could have done a lot of things better. But say, what do you rate it?
But just before I rate it, I'm just gonna say also Gravik, not a good villain.
No.
Didn't care for him.
They could have done a lot more with him as well. I could see where he's coming from, and he did make me sort of sympathetic to him. But then they just throw it all away at the end anyway. It's just like
and even just the way he's acted too. He's like very like held back. He's got no like gravitas to him at all.
Yeah.
So my rating, I'm gonna give it maybe a 4 or 5.
Damn, that low.
Yeah.
Damn.
Huge disappointment for me.
Bloody hell. I can understand. I can see where you're coming from. That also, they would. Out of the other series, then, would you say it's the worst of the other series, or would you rate one of the series lower?
I think it might be the worst. Yeah.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. To be honest, I don't know what out of the other series. I don't know which one I'd say it's the worst. To be honest, maybe
the only one you can argue is What If, because that one isn't super well pursued. Yeah, it's just random.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that, or maybe Miss Marvel, but I did quite enjoy Miss Marvel more than this, and it showed a different side to Miss Marvel. So, yeah, it could be probably What If, between that and What If, the Secret Invasion of What If, to be honest. Yeah. So it's just could have done so much more. I'm really looking forward to Loki season 2.
Yeah.
They've got to hit that out of the park after having that sort of high of Secret Invasion and it dipping. They've got to hit Secret Invasion out of the park for me. No, not Secret Invasion. Sorry, Loki season 2. They've got to do something better with that. Really have. But yes, on the last one of our topic of discussion of the meeting of minds, is the upcoming game for Spider-Man 2 coming out in October the 20th or something like that.
Yeah, October 20th.
That's me, lad.
I was prepared.
Like that. Very nice. Any Spider? No, I ain't got no Spider. More Deadpool. No. Anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Really, really am. That's the pictures I've seen, the trailers I've seen, the gameplay. Oh my lord! I'm really looking forward to this one. So I've already pre-ordered it. So whatever I get, I can't remember what you get when pre-ordering it. I don't know what it is, but I'm looking forward to jumping into that sort of thing. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the second game coming out soon?
So this is like a really, like probably the most anticipated game that I've in my, I guess, teenage, early, like adult life that has really, really excited me. Okay. Just because the first one's like my all-time favorite game.
Oh, okay.
So so I want to see how this compares to that, and even just in like the gameplay reveal trailer when he jumps out of the the cellar and then the symbiote surrounds him. I was not expecting to see that, so I was freaking out when that happened, and you see all the combat with that. And then of course Peter, like he's starting to become corrupted by it, and Miles is noticing, wait, this is not Peter.
Not no I know sort of thing.
Yeah, I want to see how far he goes with that. If there's gonna be like a Miles and Peter fight at some point.
There's got to be. I would have thought there's got to be now, surely.
There's got to be something where Miles has to be that voice of reason for Peter. He has to be the one to kind of show him that there is light in the darkness, and he needs to escape from that. And maybe the death of Aunt May is kind of fueling that too. He's still dealing with May being gone, and I don't know, maybe the symbiote's messing with his mind in that way.
I was thinking, when obviously Aunt May dying a lot, he's going to find this symbiote. Is that going to enhance his rage of losing Aunt May sort of thing? And him just myself, I can see him. Because I can't remember. I know we've got Kraven and Venom, obviously. Has there been any other announcements of villains or anything like that?
Well, Lizard is going to be in it too. I don't know what role. I don't know what role he plays in it. Yeah. That's something I'm curious about too.
Well, I'm seeing what I could think in my head now. It's going to come to a point where he's literally pummeling this villain or something like that, and he's like almost going to kill him. I think that's going to be the snap of.
That's when Miles steps in and goes, "Hey, like, what are we doing here?"
He's up, yeah.
Yeah, like there's even that part in the gameplay reveal when they save those people on the dock, and Peter picks someone up and he just throws him, and then walks away. He doesn't even pick him up or anything, and Miles looks at him. He's like,
"What the hell?
What was that?"
Yeah, exactly that. I so can't wait for this, to be honest. It's gonna be so good. I'm really intrigued to see Kraven as well, because Kraven's like one of my favourite characters from the comics now. And just seeing him portrayed as well. I want to see if they do the is the comic one where he actually he thinks he's killed Spider-Man, doesn't he? He's completed
Kraven's Last Hunt.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to try and portray that into it somewhere now, because that would be so good, to be honest. And
I saw. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on. Sorry.
I saw like a fan art of the iconic cover where Spider-Man's coming out of the grave, and you have the tombstone behind him that says "Here lies Spider-Man," and then slain by Kraven the Hunter. I saw something for that, so that looked really cool. But yeah.
Are you seeing the like? Apparently the map's going to be so much bigger, adding more areas into it. The graphics, I've seen like a side by side of the 2018 Spider-Man New York, and then the new one now. And it looks so much detailed as well and everything. Like it's just, I can't wait to swing through that because just seeing how much work they put into it, it's going to be so good. But where do you think this is going to go from after this game? What else do you think they could do?
So I think for me, the ideal end game for this, I don't know if they're doing a trilogy or if they're doing anything after that, but if it was a trilogy, I think you build up to Green Goblin in the third game.
Oh yeah, with having him seeing his son in the tank, Norman Osborn seeing Harry in the tank, he's got to be slowly deteriorating to that point as well, sort of thing. Where like myself, I was thinking maybe they have like another like spin-off game like they did for Miles, and maybe have it as, I don't know, maybe like Eddie Brock as Venom or something like that sort of thing, and having like maybe a Thunderbolts sort of gameplay thing-ish maybe or something like that, like you have with Venom in Tom Hardy's Venom, stuff like that sort of thing. Maybe you have something like that where he's fighting Carnage or he's fighting Havoc and stuff like that sort of thing. So I'd like to see like maybe a mini sort of game spin-off from that. But definitely, if they're doing a third game, it's got to lead to Goblin. It's got to all day long, that sort of thing.
I also think in this, because you have Kurt Connors, who works for Oscorp, you have the symbiote, which we don't know if it's like from space or if it's something Oscorp created, but it's linked to Oscorp. And I think there's going to be something in this where Oscorp just, like, everything about them, because they know Norman is corrupt from the first game. Something's going to happen where Oscorp is just either shut down or everything that they've been working on is, like, stolen or just, like, let out. And there's a huge fallout from that, and Norman just loses it, and he takes his own tech, and he starts building his arsenal for the third game. Because you even see in the first one, there's a helmet on that table in one of the MJ missions that kind of looks like it could be a Green Goblin helmet.
It's like, I love the prototype sort of one, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah. And then, like, the green is everywhere in Oscorp, too. Like, that room where Harry's being held, it's green everywhere, so I think that's a huge tease too. I'm very curious if they're going to introduce more of like the classic Spider-Man villains too. Like we've seen Electro, we've seen Rhino. We haven't seen Sandman yet, but there's been references to him. I'm also curious to see if any of them might pop up in this game somewhere. And yeah, just hopefully we get some really good like heartfelt story between Peter, Miles, and all of them.
Do you think that they'll have? Because this is what I'm hoping at. Like, it's like through when you have like you've obviously the big main missions where they might work together or you're working for individual. Do you think they'll have like maybe a GTA-esque sort of thing where you could switch between one or the other?
Well, we kind of see that in the trailer where it says like press square to switch to Miles or press square to switch back to Peter. I don't know if it's going to be like if you're just free roaming, if you can do that easily. It would be cool if you could, but I know that there's going to be like side missions that are specific to Peter or Miles, and then some of them are together. So I'm assuming there would be a character switch thing in some capacity for them.
Yeah, I say myself, I'd love to have something like that where maybe like one's the top of New York and one's down the bottom and sort of thing.
Yeah, and you see the camera move to them like perched on the rooftop or something like that too. That would be really cool.
Yeah, it was so like intense stuff like that sort of thing.
And the traversal too, the fact that you can now glide.
His wingsuit.
And when he I think it was Miles in the trailer when he like webs to like the two posts and he pulls himself back and he slingshots himself, like in the Spider-Man 2 movie. That looks really cool too.
Yeah, that did look good to be honest. That lot. But yes, we'll leave it there for the time being. That lot. I'd like to thank Nate from THWIP Media again. Thank you for coming back on. Love to get you on a bit more again. That lot. We'll try and get the gang up together. See, life's just been all over the way at the moment. Like, that's why I'm doing more of the gameplays and stuff like that sort of thing. But yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for coming back on, my friend. Love to get you back on and everything. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon again, my friend.
Yep, thank you for having me. It was a great chat.
No, that's all right. For everybody else, thank you very much for subscribing, like, share, and subscribe, and all that jazz. Come and see what we've got on the channel. And yes, we'll speak to you all very much, very, very soon. Thank you very much, and goodbye.